Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. This is Sibling Showdown. Steve will be here in just 1 minute. We are drafting SuperFlex tonight, going over his SuperFlex article, and we will do that in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Thursday. It's Sibling Showdown. We are drafting a SuperFlex draft tonight. Steve just posted a SuperFlex article. I'm having computer issues. Steve's had computer issues. It's tech difficulties. It wouldn't be a Sibling Showdown without, so you have to bear with me with bad mic and camera with me tonight. Steve is on, though. Let me say hi to the chat, Steve, and then we will talk SuperFlex. We've got fantasy football, Espanol. Always good to see you in here. Good evening, afternoon to you. Mike Rob, honestly would be worried if Meg started on time. That is fair. We've got Who Hames, just finished watching his stream a little bit ago. Sup, fam? And we've got Hartman in chat. Great to see everybody in chat. And Green Bean, always good to see you in chat. Steve, I pulled up your article. How are you doing? You ready to talk SuperFlex tonight?
Yeah, doing good outside a few tech issues, but yeah, absolutely ready to talk SuperFlex. Contest still going strong, and I do think we're going to see a lot more of them this year.
Yeah, what percent filled is it now?
I want to say like 56%, something like that, 58%.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so 50. So we still got halfway to go, and like you said, the size of the SuperFlex that they launched really shows that they are, committed to probably doing more than just this one. I mean, how many SuperFlex did they do last year?
They did, if I remember correctly, 4 different contests. One SuperFlex Puppy, but that was essentially 1/4 of the size. So this is 4 times larger. They did a a SuperFlex Pomeranian. That was a 50 max. That was over 100,000 entries. And then they did a Golden and a Pug. As far as I know, those are the only 4 contests they did last year.
Okay. Now I'm getting pop-ups on my computer. Awesome. This is just going super well. Anyways, are you drafting slows as we're doing this too? I see you looking at your phone. I know you've got
I was looking at Twitter.
Okay. All right, lock in, Steve. I need you to discuss the SuperFlex article that you wrote today. I pulled it up. I'm sparing everybody from my shitty camera that I'm using, getting it fixed. All set tomorrow. By the way, if you're coming in, hit that like button. Subscribe to the Fanspeak Network if you haven't yet already. We appreciate that. We are on the road to 1,000. And of course, the article I have pulled up, the mentioned article on the Fanspeak Substack, just $34.99 a year. Link is in the description. So, Steve, you talked about you wrote this article, posted it today. You had go over the amount of teams you had. I know you had like a 34% advance rate, and of course 3 SuperFlex finals teams. So go over that. I'll pull in the article. We're not going to give away the milk for free, but we'll show some of the highlights. So talk about that.
So yeah, last year of those 4 different contests, I did 3 pugs, the Golden, and then I did 31 SuperFlex puppies and the 50 Pomeranians. So it was 85 teams that I had last year. And of those, I got 29 to the playoffs. So a little over 34% advance rate. Okay, and of those, I got 3 to the actual finals.
Right.
And so I wanted to go back and look. I wrote an article a couple weeks ago about SuperFlex strategy. And I wanted to go back and look and just take a deeper dive into my successful teams last year and kind of like look at some themes of the builds, the importance of running back, the importance of quarterback. And look, I don't even think I did it entirely well. And I talk about this where I don't think I prioritize running back enough in my builds. And one other thing is, and I mentioned this in the article, is every year is different. Like last year, I think running back prices weren't as expensive, so you could get some good starting running backs actually after the 10th round.
Yeah.
Quarterback prices, like for guys like when these SuperFlexes were going, this is before the Sam Darnold news. So he was going in the 9th, 10th, 11th, even 12th round. I found one that I got him in. Guys like Bo Nix and Drake May were 8th, 9th round a lot. Russ was going 7th, 8th, 9th round because everyone was in on Justin Fields. So you could get some good starting quarterbacks late. I don't know if we have that same thing here where essentially Aaron Rodgers is going at the end of the 5th round now.
Right.
It's early 6th round. So, and that's through 28 quarterbacks.
And Daniel Jones is going what? Because you talk about this in the article.
Yeah, Jones is moving up and will continue to move up, I think, as news continues to come out and more people understand it. His ADP is still in the 80s, but it's more like when you're in draft now, you're probably taking him in the 70s.
Okay, let's take a deeper dive at the article. Again, want to say hi to the people who joined us in the chat as we started. Always good to see Stephen WC. Who said over, I believe, 60% full. We got that with go get your guys. Got our guy Cody, who I will be on with tomorrow. I will have my computer fixed with better microphone and camera. With Cody tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, Friends of Best Ball. Look, a BBM draft. Look for that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Tim talking about 3 tight end builds. When you draft them late, you need 3. That is, that's my favorite type of build for sure. So we have done a lot of strategy as part of this Substack. We're doing 3 to 4 articles a week, and then we have rankings for all the different formats as well. So Steve's Superflex rankings are up. My marathon rankings are up. Steve's eliminator rankings are up. He wrote an eliminator strategy, a Superflex strategy. I did a marathon strategy, and now he's following up with, like he said, deep diving as to basically what worked for him last year. To have a 34% advance rate in Superflex, to have 3 finals teams. So give us the highlights of this, Steve. Again, we're not giving them no great free. You can get free previews by signing up for Substack, but $34.99 for an entire year to check out all these articles, all these different rankings. And quite honestly, I do like that our subscription kind of dives deep into the different formats. I love classic and BBM as much as the next person, but I do think there is some more edge in contests like Superflex and Marathon, Eliminator, those kind of things. And we're going to spend a lot of time on that, both on these shows and in Substack. And we hope you guys find that beneficial. So anyways, give us the highlights of your successful teams last year.
Yeah. So as you can see here, the build structure 4-6-7-3 was the build. And that was my most popular build, no question about it. And 4 quarterbacks, but none of my 5 or even 6 quarterback teams advanced, somewhat due to, taking later shots on quarterbacks who just didn't do much or didn't do anything. Also, I advanced a decent rate in my 3 quarterback builds, but 4 quarterbacks was my strongest advance rate. I think it was 37%. Sure. I didn't write this in the article, but somewhere around there. And I do think 4-6-7-3 to Tim's point is it's a balanced build for this structure. Mm-hmm. I think that's the best way to approach this.
I love it, Harden.
And I think it's the best way to approach this. And also you'll see later in the article, these aren't 4 late quarterbacks. It's not like 1 early and then a couple late quarterbacks or even mid quarterbacks. Like I go pretty heavy in quarterbacks, and
why don't we skip to that? Ports of drafting quarterback early. You drafted a round 1 quarterback on 27 of your 29 advanced teams.
Yeah. So I mean that is first and foremost, and then
you want to speak to the rest of these charts.
Yeah, and just to these charts. So looking at, can you scroll up just slightly to see the title of this? So quarterbacks through 3 rounds, meaning how many quarterbacks you have at the end of 3 rounds. 12 of those 29, I had 3 quarterbacks, meaning I went quarterback in the top 3 picks. Yeah. And I advanced a pretty decent rate of that. Yeah. 17 of those, I had 2. So at least 2 of those picks, whether it's 2-3, 1-3, 1-2, doesn't matter. I was hammering quarterbacks those first 3 rounds, and those teams paid off. Quarterbacks through 4 rounds, a team I did go quarterbacks 1 through 4, but 19 of those teams had 3 quarterbacks, meaning, of those, you look at those 17 2-quarterback teams, about half of those went up to 3, adding just 1 more round. And same, and through 5 rounds, 26 of 29 teams had 3 or more quarterbacks through 5 rounds. So, yes, I was maybe tacking on some of those teams with Barkley or Chase or, Henry, guys like that. But I was only taking 2 of those guys. I was absolutely taking quarterbacks early and often.
Yeah.
And that was in a year where I think there was more value later. I don't think that value is present this year, particularly with a team like the Browns, where we just, could be 1 of 4 guys. Like last year, we had a lot of signals like Russ and Darnold were the guy, Nix was the guy, May was going to get, at least the majority of the year. Where, the similar situation this year, Dart might only get the last like 5-6 weeks. So it's just a much different ball game.
And you talk about that in the article, the details of like who goes where this year and what you might want to do. But speak to Steven's point, what round this year would you take a 4th QB? And I think it probably depends on who your other 3 QBs are.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of nuanced in that regard, but say you did do 3 in the top 4 or even 3 in the top 5. What round would you, because I know you and Huhaim, speaking of Huhaim, you just talked about you and Huhaim have done a lot of SuperFlex chats and streams together and providing excellent content. And he says Browns may set an NFL record for the number of starting quarterbacks. Very fair, a good point. You guys have talked about handcuffing quarterbacks, tacking on a backup that, a backup as a 4th or 5th is totally fine. Because if they do hit their lineup, they're going to probably be more powerful in the SuperFlex than a lot of the other late round guys. So, but to answer Steven's question, where would you take a 4th in an ideal situation? Like, would it be like a Kirk Cousins type? Like, how would you?
Honestly, I think the ideal is to get your 4th by the Russ Wilson, Jackson Dart, because those are the guys we know are going to start games. Whether they start 4 games, 10 games, we don't know, but we know those guys are going to start games. And I don't really count Anthony Richardson in that mix. To me, I'm mainly letting somebody else take the Richardson bet.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones, Tyler Shock are above that as well. But that's kind of the starters. I mean, Browns, we know the Browns will have starting quarterbacks. We just don't know who they are. I think Joe Flacco, I take him a little bit, but I had to feel really confident in the other 3 because most of my teams last year, of those 29 teams, they were the 4 quarterback teams were 4 starting quarterbacks. It was just like Russ or Nix or Darnold late. And so that was kind of lucky, I don't think we're going to have that kind of luck this year. And that's where I do think there are other ways to build, like, maybe going 5 quarterbacks in those types of situations, like 3 guys, are going to start, then 2 shots on, a Brown, maybe 2 Browns to hopefully get a good chunk of their games, or just 2 other backups that maybe you feel good about, or I did this, I think it was in Huhaim's draft a couple of days ago. I handcuffed 2 of my quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I Dak and Fields, and I handcuffed both of them to make sure that I'm going to have the Dallas and Jets quarterback. So I do think there are some different ways to approach it, but when I was spending on quarterback, I was taking starters, and I think that's the best approach. I mean, these guys just have the highest upside in points. For an instance, Will Levis averaged, and he was terrible last year. He averaged 11 fantasy points a game.
Yeah,
but that's more than receivers like Calvin Ridley and Zay Flowers and guys like that. That's more than that's what Najee Harris had as RB 26 or 25, whatever he ended up being.
Right.
So
to Steven's point, then like 10th, 11th round.
Yeah, I think 10th is kind of. Sometimes you're lucky in the 11th, and it also matters where you are. If you're like early in the 11th, maybe you can hope one of those guys slide to that point. But I kind of think that there's that cutoff at the Giants guys. Anyone else, Flacco, I'm okay, because I do think he's going to start some games, and especially if you have like some quarterbacks with early buys, like some week 5 guys, week 6 guys, Flacco can probably fill in for those weeks. I could see him starting at least 8 games. But as Huhaim said, that is just a mess of a situation. And for the most part, I'm trying to avoid as much as possible.
Yeah. Let me get to the chat in a minute, but you did talk about obviously the importance of running backs too. You and Huhaim have talked about this a lot in streams and chats, and I think that is very important too. But go read the article, check it out on the Fanspeak Substack as Steve breaks down all the positions, but especially the importance of quarterback and the running back. Because then if you're dominating the quarterback and running back position in Superflex, you're essentially dominating 4 of the 6 positions. You're dominating quarterback, running back, Superflex, and flex. and then you still can have a viable tight end and wide receiver room because you still then are building for 2 receivers, 1 tight end, still can be very viable. When you think of it in that lens and context, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to get to the chat and then bring over Underdog. But we appreciate, I saw Justin said, first of all, I love Hartman. Just write down Steve's builds, dupe them, best strategy. Love it, Hartman. Justin says, just join. Thank you for the content. We appreciate you, Justin. Thank you very much. Tim talking about tight end is such a crapshoot. I'm a late tight end girl, period, but especially in SuperFlex, I think even more so for sure. Who Ames found out the hard way, it will not allow you to take.
I was on that stream.
Were you? Okay, hysterical. And you said, fourth quarterback in an ideal world in the 10th or 11th round. Mike Robb says, all these questions seem important, but the real thing is, are you drafting at night with or without your socks on? That is very important. Without for me, I'm barefoot at night, just, going wild. Justin asked, will Steve do any odd bills or just the same in every draft? You spoke to that in the article. Why don't you answer that question?
Yeah, no, I definitely, last year I did 85 teams. I'm going to do more than that. I'm already at a higher number than that this year, just through this puppy. So yes, I'm going to explore more builds because I think I had only 5 or 6 of those 85, I think it's 6, had 5 or more quarterbacks last year. So, that's a pretty small percentage. It'll probably be a similar percentage, but it will be, in the 5-10% of my teams will have, like 5 or more quarterbacks or do some more unique things, like not take a quarterback try and wait till round 4, which I don't recommend. But I think then you just have to throw like 5 at it and get as many starters as possible. So it can also depend on what room you're in. If it's quarterback early, you can't then hope that a starter is still going to fall to the 6th round.
Coolers just said this will be the first stream draft to set a record for quarterbacks taken in 3 rounds now.
That's we might, I said Aaron Rodgers goes in round 6 now. He might go in round 3.
Yeah. We're going to push him up. I love it.
Damn, I meant to do more SuperFlex drafts today.
Shit. Okay. Justin asks, so if you go 3, you said this in the article. If you're doing high volume in this contest, sure, mix it up. Grab a chase early. Grab a, mix in some of the early running backs. Mix in some different builds and that kind of stuff. That's basically what you're doing. But like a high percentage of your drafts are going to be late. Do what you talked about.
So,
right?
So to answer Justin, like typically through 4 rounds, I'm 3 quarterbacks and 1 running back. Are there times where I take a receiver instead of a running back? Yep. Are there times where I take only 2 quarterbacks and then 1 of each, or maybe 2 running backs? Absolutely. But yeah, so especially for the wide receivers, because Chase, I have him ranked like 11th in SuperFlex, 11th, 12th, and he goes 6 or 5, 6 or 7 almost every time. So it's really tough. I've only gotten him, I think, twice so far. Because it's tough for me to pay him above. Definitely Burrow. I saw him in a draft today that he went ahead of Burrow, but it's tough for me to take him above Saquon, who positional value now takes over because you don't need to start 3 wide receivers. And even if Chase is RB1 or wide receiver 1 again, I can basically guarantee you that running back 1 is going to outscore him, whether it's Barkley, whether Bijan, whoever it is, Gibbs, etc. So, but no, there are definitely times I start running back, but then I'm hammering quarterback.
Yeah.
There's times I've started running back, receiver, then hammering quarterback. And this is one thing I talked about in my other strategy article. I don't take a lot of elite tight end unless they really fall.
Yeah.
Because tight end just has less value here. Your tight end in this format, because they're now competing. Remember, you're only starting 2 receivers. So those third receivers who are typically hitting your lineup in regular contests are now, the tight end is not going to outscore those types of receivers, much less running backs for your regular flex position.
Right. Absolutely. And I think you worded it perfectly in the article. Basically, like if you're doing high volume, yes, mix in different strategies, but like basically use your old faithful strategy and a high percent is basically what you're doing. Let me get to a couple more chat and then we will get in a SuperFlex draft. Also hit that like button. If we hit 30 likes, we will do a second SuperFlex draft. So appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. We'll get in a draft in a minute. Chad Candles, always love Chad Candles in the chat. Check out his morning streams. The morning stream guy, must check out Chad Candles' channel. He says, GM, love the SuperFlex content. We appreciate you. Chad is a loyal subscriber, and we appreciate you in here and reading the SuperFlex content as well. Huhaim says, I'm going to try to avoid the crew in a SuperFlex when I'm not streaming. That's fair. That's totally fair. Cooler says, curious how often QB4 for Steve is guaranteed starter versus the dart and beyond. That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say I don't know the exact percentage this year. I'd say it's around 50-50. There are a lot of times where I'm particularly if like, if we're talking guaranteed starter is a bit of a mix because like, are you counting Tyler Shuck? Are you counting
Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. Because if you are, then probably even higher because when those guys come back around in the 7th round, 8th round, sometimes I will easily take them because they just project for so many points than even the elite. And there are no more elite receivers. There are elite running backs. But even if you were to tell me that, I don't know, somebody like a Quinshon Junkins is going to have a 300-point game in an average 18 fantasy points. Well, Daniel Jones can do that, and Tyler Shuck, even as a rookie, could do, maybe not 18, but close. So yeah, if we're counting those types of guys, it's probably pushing more like 70-75%. If we're talking just through like the Aaron Rodgers, where we kind of know they're full-time starters, it's probably more like 50%.
No, that's a good answer. That's good. Harvey says Huhames just go against the grain in his stream room. Huhames himself talks about the Chase shares. Just exactly. 2 shares through 87 drafts makes a ton of sense. Justin says, got it, street draft, no QB through the first 10 rounds. The highest drafted Sam Howell. I think it's especially if you wanted to do that with JJ, that's fun. I personally don't mind doing the handcuff thing. I know you and Huhames have talked about, but I don't mind doing the handcuff thing. I've done, some of those situations where you get one, especially when it's a later starter that isn't like a first round guy. Mm-hmm. I actually really, really like it. But Mike Robb says 30 likes, we're getting inflation. A little bit longer drafts in the Superflex streets, trying to bump up goals here. But no, 30 likes, we will do a second one. Coolers appreciates perfect sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Huhaim says Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs should all be ahead of him, meaning Chase. Yeah,
exactly. And so just to further answer, like of the first round, I take 6 or 7 quarterbacks. Like I'm not pulling up, the CJ Strouds or Jordan Loves to the first round. I don't think it should go 1 through 12.
Yeah.
I don't think the first round should go 1 through 12 quarterback. And in fact, I think Chase deserves to be in the first round, just at the very back end. And like Huhaim said, like I want those running backs ahead.
These running backs should be ahead. Yeah. All right. Well, let us jump in a 20-second Puppy Superflex. If you want to join us, 20-second Superflex in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And we have 2 more to start. So if you want in, 2 more to start. We will be pulling it over now. And again, a lot of slows over here.
That's nothing.
Yeah, that is nothing for you, Steve. Steve's got like hundreds of slows going. Okay, it is full. We are starting. We got Coolers here with us at the 2 spot. We are at the 3 spot. Let's see if I recognize anybody. We got good old Mike Robb at the 10 spot. I think that's it. If I missed your name, please let us know. But we at least have 3 in here, including us. So yeah, draft starts soon. Looking forward to it. Appreciate that. Huhaim says Steve knows how to feel. Wait, Steve, how does it feel to draft in the back of the room? Oh, you usually get the 1 spot in here, right?
Yeah. So he's saying that at 3, that's the back of the room for me.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I've done 3 Superflex drafts today where I got the 101. So I don't know.
You had 3 that you got the 101 today?
Yeah, I had to take Lamar in one because I took Allen in the other 2.
Okay, we're starting in 3 seconds. Again, good luck to Coolers and Mike Robb. Let's have some fun. 20-second clock. Hopefully this will be fairly quick. And again, hit that like button. If we get 30, we will do a second draft. So if it falls the way the board falls, do you want to take our hometown guy and Jaden Daniels then, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, I think those first four, you can mix up the order of the first four, but I think those should be the easy clicks. And yeah, go Jaden here.
Yeah. Let's not get cute. Let's go Jaden. Yeah, I can't believe how many first picks you've gotten. Almost filled the room. Good luck, guys. We appreciate you, Justin. Thank you again for checking out our content. We do appreciate that. I Space Jam Steven took his early ADP powers. There you go. Coolers at the sweet spot. I like it.
I like the reference also.
Yeah, while we're waiting for our next pick, tell us about, I went one day, Steve, and my dad went too. Talk about Oakmont, Steve.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. Friday, when the day Meg went, we had much better weather, though it was very hot. But no, it was such a great time. Got to see so many great golfers. It was my first tournament. And but Sunday, I mean, outside of the rain and the rain delay, it was just incredible. That last I got to 18, it was about 15 golfer or 16 golfers to go. It was right before the group right before Scotty. I saw at 18.
Oh, you saw Scotty at 18? Okay, I couldn't remember.
And just seeing all those golfers come through, and of course when Spawn gets there and the buzz that was around with what he did on 17, getting the birdie there and separating himself, was just so much fun, so incredible. And while I couldn't watch the shot the entire way through, I saw it land. That was so amazing, that putt, and just the crowd just roared and was insane.
I was going to say, it had to be so electric to be there. Was it our cousin? Our cousin went with my dad and brother, and so was it he sent you the clip and we could see you, our cousin and dad's like head, like bobbing.
Yeah.
Like you could see the back of their head trying to bob to see the spawn, the spawn putt. But that spawn putt was amazing. Okay. Justin's located Hagerstown, Maryland and Harrisburg, PA, near Harrisburg, PA. Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah. We're, I'm in Baltimore, so I'm not in Baltimore right now, but I'm a Baltimore girl, Maryland girl. We got our guy Tyler in chat. Always good to see Tyler. Watch Tyler on Who Hames channel. If you missed that, check that out. We'll be up in a minute. Okay, so let's see, Steve, with it going quarterback heavy.
Yeah,
very is. Quarterback heavy.
What's the top quarterback? I mean,
Herbert. We could take
Genty here.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, I was looking at, of course I had it all set and then I somehow didn't log in. Okay. I got to do this.
Yeah, we're up in 3 picks. Just like
okay. I'm on it. Hold on. Let me log in. I mean, I am the worst. Hold on. Let me refresh. I think this got me logged in. I purposely logged into BBO, got it all squared away, got the ownership. Yep, there we go. We got our ownerships. I got the ownership for SuperFlex specifically, which I only have 11 completed SuperFlex, nowhere near what you have. I'll probably end up doing 30 or something like that, because I have some slows going on right now. Damn. Okay. So when I looked at ownership, May was one I've only gotten once. I said, I was going to say, I hope May falls back to us, but okay. Coolers beat us. He got Herbert. Do you want to pull up Lawrence?
No, let's do Love.
I don't like Love as much, but okay. Okay. We're doing Love. I don't know why I've been like a Love hater this.
Well, I mean, last year they had one of the lowest pass rates and pass attempts, and I do think the injuries affected him, but I think they're going to be a bit more balanced this year. Getting Golden, I think they see Kraft. Hopefully, they see Kraft as a weapon because I'm drafting a lot of him.
Yeah,
just think their wide receivers are deeper, and I think we saw 2 years ago what Love can do. I also think their defense takes a step back. They just had to cut Jair Alexander. So
I have to interrupt you. Washington fans, not Ravens fans. I live in Ravens country, but I'm a Washington fan. Good line from Thad. Football and crab cakes. That's what Maryland does. Absolutely. Wedding crashers. Well played. Cooler's looking out for us. I'll time down in case you need it. I mean, we've got the best chat. Let's go. All right, go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
No. So yeah, I mean, I get it. Like 1 for 1. I think Lawrence has higher upside in Liam Cohen's offense, but I think it's smart to have Love. I mean, we saw what he could do 2 years ago, literally won a guy $3 million.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. No, I need to get some more love. I mean, that quarterback range, which all just went now in the first, well, I guess it's still going.
Yeah.
We'll go in the first 4 rounds here. Typically goes rounds 8 through 12 like 8 through 13 in classic contests. There is just loaded of so many quarterbacks and all these guys. I tend to take way more of like all these Knicks, Purdy, Fields, Caleb, Dak, Goff, May, Lawrence, Herbert over Love. I need to start balancing out. Plenty of time to balance out the exposures though.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at chat. Mike's listening to you. He goes, Mike Robb goes Jefferson, but then Kyler, Stroud, Tua. I would say a fun thing with Tua that I've done is I do draft Zach Wilson sometimes because let's be honest, if Tua plays great, but Zach Wilson can run around. So taking him super late that's like especially the injury prone guys, I like handcuffing for sure.
Yeah.
So, and Coolers gets Lamar, Henry, team stacked right there, and then Herbert. So like that, Steve, the people are listening to you, making it to be a harder room for us.
That they are, but hey, I'm glad they're listening. But I just do think it'll pay off for you in the long run.
So we've got a few quarterbacks here if you wanted to go that, but there is Jonathan Taylor and Jacobs on the board too. How do you want to handle that?
I think we should take Young.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think I'm very high on Bryce Young this season, so I'm totally fine with that. I mean, there could have a running back fall back to us.
Yeah, that's my hope. And then I think McConkey's also a good pick in this range.
Yeah, that would be like a nice hero receiver situation too. It's tough. You got Jacobs, Chase Brown, and McConkey. I'd say I'd rank them Jacobs, McConkey, Chase Brown here. How would you rank it? I mean, we got to wait and see what falls to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think all 5 are kind of in the same tier, so I don't mind any of them. But let's go McConkey.
Okay, that works. Okay, so we start 3-1-1. So basically did exactly what you said. We went 3 in the first 4 rounds: Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, Jordan Love, Bryce Young, and then Ladd McConkey. But you had talked about reading through your article here, quarterbacks through 4 rounds of your, 28? 29. Yeah, excuse me. So of your 29 playoff teams out of, and again, 34% advance rate. You had 3 quarterbacks through 4 rounds, 19 of the 29 playoff teams. So I like the 3-1-1 start here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, going Chase Brown there, I think would have been very viable as well. And had Jacobs been back, I would have pushed for that. But, this is the way I look at it. Like, we spent 3 of our first 5 picks on quarterbacks, and we still get, if you want to call Genty a second rounder, that's fine. But we got 2 essentially top half of the board second round picks in Genty and McConkey.
Yeah, and to Cooler's point, so Cooler starts Lamar, Henry, Herbert, JT, Sam Darnold. I absolutely love that. 2 elite, Henry and JT, and then 3 quarterbacks. Yeah. And he said Ladd was tempting, but he would have been in quarterback jail. And he's right. With the you have to watch what the room's doing. The room, is pushing quarterbacks. So you would have been, really only having 2 starting quarterbacks for sure. Yeah. So I think that was smart.
Yeah, no, go ahead. FK is very similar to us, where he, you can say, oh, he doesn't have a first round pick, but he got, Henry and Taylor, 2 guys who go in the top 20 picks, in regular drafts. So
Justin and Coolers are talking about MLB advance rate. Any interest in MLB best ball? I really don't play, but Steve does for sure. How are your MLB best balls going, Steve?
I haven't looked in like 2 weeks. Last I saw, I think I was at 22% advance rate in dingers, higher in the little dinger, but my one
Harvey
Walker.
What's that?
Walker.
That's what I wanted. Okay, good. I was just about to read that. So 3, 2, 1, up at pick 75. So I'll leave it here. Obviously, top of the board, Harvey, Ted, JMO, Worthy, Travis Hunter. Who are our quarterbacks? Jaden Love, Young. Okay, I was just trying to remember. Okay, so next quarterback. So like you, to your point, the Aaron Rodgers is long gone.
Yeah, he just went.
Yeah, he just went here in round 6. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, obviously Coolers were smart to get Darnold in round 5, Aaron Rodgers in round 6. And so that now has the tier break of quarterbacks because yes, these can have starting roles, but way more question marks with the remaining quarterbacks. So kind of get your court. That's why you do want to get through 3 quarterbacks for sure. And mission accomplished. So we'll be up. We are up now. Harvey, Worthy, Hunter, Connor, Sutton.
Let's go Daniel Jones actually at quarterback real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're bully. You want to get 4 here.
Yeah.
You're not even waiting until the 10th. You want to. Okay, let's go. All right. Steve looks at the data and he has spoken. And
I don't think you've updated my current rankings for Superflex because I have Daniel Jones higher. If anyone noticed, he's listed at 105. I think I don't know what my current rankings are. I'd have to bring them up, but I definitely have him like in the late 70s, early 80s. And so I just think, I think getting a third quarterback, especially if we'd started 1, 2, 3, that would have been one thing. Or if we'd gotten some great falls, like sometimes you get, Fields or Dak to fall back in the second round. We did, Love has a little bit, not as high as upside as some of these other guys. So that's why I don't mind taking another one. And we got 2 running backs. We got Vlad. I think we're still in a really good position overall.
Yeah, I just pulled up your rankings. Of course, rankings are for paid subs only on the Fanspeak Substack link below, $34.99 for the year, not month, year. And I just put up your rankings. And yes, I have not, shame on me, I did not update your rankings in the Underdog backend. So I apologize about that. But yes, you have Daniel Jones ranked 78.
Yeah, so we took him 75. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, and I do think this room is obviously aggressive with a couple of people from chat, and I think it's a good bet. We're done at quarterback. Like in another build, we would take a Mariota and back like Malik Willis, but we don't need to do that. We can just be done at 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you doing any 7th inning stretch teams? Justin said he's doing.
I haven't done any yet, but I did see that's probably not going to fill.
Yeah.
Of course, the overlay is enticing.
Yeah, he just says, "Don't think it fills. Got to get some baseball for some more football." That's the diehard baseball. Love it, absolutely love it. Coolers is. Said didn't know 7th inning stretch. He's been focused on football, so you guys will have to do. I really don't do much baseball, so you have to get in some 7th inning stretch there, Steve.
Yep.
All right, 2 running backs that I know you like a lot. I will queue up since we did go quarterback heavy. Do you want to go Caleb Johnson or Tony Pollard?
I'd go Caleb Johnson.
That's how I feel too. Perfect. Trying to bully. The quarterback, Superflex running back flex position kind of got that filled now with Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, 4 starters, Genty, Kenneth Walker, Caleb Johnson. We feel like our 3 solid starting running backs, and then a kind of hero receiver build in Ladd and McConkey. We'll be back up at 99. Now, if Pollard falls, would you take him? If not, where do you want to go?
If Pollard falls, I'd take him. If not, I think Godwin's a good pick. Addison's fine pick also.
Yeah, it's sounding like he'll miss 3 games.
Yeah, probably. But again, with us only needing 2 quarterbacks, that's not as big of a concern.
2 receivers,
Two receivers, yeah.
Okay, so Swift goes to Coolers, which I was going to actually cue him as well. Do you want to go Pollard since he fell?
Yeah, let's go Pollard, especially with us, our first 2 backs having the week 8 bye.
Yeah.
giving us and this is the thing, because by, like you said, like bullying or dominating quarterback, super flex, the 2 running back positions, and the flex position most weeks, that's 5 of your 8 starting positions. So and we have a guy like Lad McConkey to be our hero, anchor wide receiver.
Absolutely. No, I like that. Yeah. So, and I like what Coolers did. Lamar, we talked about, 2 starting running backs, Henry, Jonathan Taylor in the top 4, Lamar, Justin Herbert. So 2 in the top 4. So Sam Darnold. So he got 3 in 3 quarterbacks in round 5, which is what you wrote about and the data you showed on your successful teams. Then went Tet, DK, and then Russ. So, definitely a guy who's going to start games. We will see how many, but he's going to start games this season. So, and then Swift.
I think it's a very strong team.
I absolutely love his start as well. Let's check out Mike Robb's team: Jefferson, Kyler, CJ Stroud, Tua, and then Breece Hall, James Cook. So he prioritized running back next, which I like. Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, and he is actually on the clock now. So yeah, he went, an elite hero receiver, and then 3 quarterbacks in a row. So 3 through 4, which is again what you talked about. Then 2 starting running backs, and then went to the receiver, and then went back to ETN, like that as well. Again, going to be a competitive room, but this is what makes it fun. So
yeah, no, exactly. And again, like if you're doing volume drafting, mix up strategies. Have those builds where it's like, like I had one the other day of, Gibbs and McCaffrey. That's a great start.
Yeah.
But then I took 5 total quarterbacks in that, got 3 starters, and then some backups.
Justin says, sorry about the baseball talk. No need to apologize. We're all baseball diehards here, so no need to apologize. We love the baseball talk, period. Huames says, I love that I have a bunch of Drake May teams in Superflex with double elite running back from the right side of the board. I like that a lot. For some reason, again, I just pulled up my exposure, only 11 completed, so ways more to go. I want to get more in. I was hoping Drake May would fall to us. He did not here. I need some more Drake May in Superflex is what I'm trying to say. So
just throwing it out there, chat. We need some more likes. I think we only have 23 right now.
Okay. All right. So 7 more likes, plenty of time. 7 more likes. We do another one. Maybe we get our Drake May team. Cooler says, trying to even out my Russ and Dart exposures. Worried I have too much Dart. I think that's smart to balance it out. And if there are some teams where you do both, I don't think that's bad either. Like you said, it would be probably back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, and I forget who his other quarterback is, but I believe FK has Lamar and Darnold. Those are 2 earlier buys. Russ is very likely to be starting those first 8 weeks.
That's a great point. Oh shit, Scataboo's there as we sit here. What do you want to do? And then we
do it. I have no problem doing that. It seems like a lot. Typically, I like to take a second receiver.
This could be a 5 running back build, but I mean, with 20 picks, we could also still go 6.
Well, it's also like we actually already, we're going to get another starting receiver here, and a guy like Khalil Shakir is also very fine. He's going to have, plenty of usable weeks. Only needing to start 2.
Those are my favorite receivers if we're going receiver here.
But I think end of the day, our receiver room will have at least 7, and I think it will look pretty good.
Oh yeah. So a second receiver here. We have Daniel Jones. I say we push up Ben Downs.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean,
I love Downs.
I like Mooney a lot, but I like Downs a lot as well.
Yeah. I mean, if our guy Cam Scataboo didn't fall, maybe we could have gone Mooney Downs. But hey, the stars aligned. So I just really like Josh Downs, especially with likely more Daniel Jones for sure.
Yeah.
Doing shots at 30, Steve. If we get 30 likes, doing shots.
Maybe I will have to go grab a bourbon.
I don't know if you'll see Steve do rip shots, but you may see him grab a bourbon. You'll be on JT Best Ball tonight.
Yes, tonight it's 10 p.m. Central. And so at 10 p.m.
It's 10 p.m. Central. Okay, so 11 Eastern. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be on with JT Best Ball on his channel. And I think we talked about it. We're we're going to probably do a BBM and a SuperFlex.
Nice. Okay, so you got a late night ahead of you here on Eastern Standard Time. So go check out Steve on JT Best Ball at 10 Central, 11 Eastern. Mike Crow says the Shoup's family motto: get enough running backs and then add more. Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. But
that says Scatabo sighting always as we can here. Absolutely love it. Justin's through 309 football drafts. I need AA. That's hysterical.
You're in the right place, Justin.
You're in the right place. You've come to the right place. Yes. Absolutely. How did you keep up with your slows at Oakmont? I don't know how you did, because especially the rainy day.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with like 25 slows.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Particularly, I'm also on other sites as well doing slows. Not as many, but doing slows on there. But yeah, just tried to manage the ones that were within like, the next 3 hours, and then I'd check in a couple hours, and yeah, it was interesting.
Did you have to make any picks during the pouring rain delay on Sunday?
Not while it was pouring rain, but when there was like that 20-30 minutes when they were getting the course back together, then I made a bunch of picks.
Okay. Gotcha. I like it. So yeah, Mike Robb adds, after we last checked in with him, ETN, then Diggs, Trey Harris, a lot of picks that we like just in general, tacking on there. So like that a lot. And then Coolers added Russ, trying to balance out that Russ dart exposure. Swift, Najee, great running backs to add in. And then Mark Andrews. Again, like what the other two guys are doing in here, Steve. Got it.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what we have coming up.
If you want to double stack Colts and Danny Dimes, you could do Pittman. Then there's Burden, Bateman, Kyle Williams.
Let's pull over that.
And these are based on your rankings, which I have not updated in a week.
Let's go Pittman.
You want to double stack it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically saying we hope Daniel Jones is successful, and then we hope one of these guys is kind of ping-ponging with him. So I assume you want, since we did go 4-5, 2 to open things up, I assume you want to go receiver here, since these three.
Tucker, I would take Tucker Kraft if he's there.
Oh, because we have Love. Yeah, that makes sense.
We have Love, and I actually think Kraft is maybe the most underpriced tight end right now. Well, I mean, that's tough. Gesicki and Ertz are pretty underpriced as well.
I was going to say, I think Gesicki, Ertz, Freiermuth, that whole range is underpriced.
Yeah, but Kraft is starting to get pushed down there, and he is very talented. I just think he could really break out even more this year. Even
with adding Golden?
Yeah, I don't think that impacts him. I
so Kraft over all the other receivers went. So Kraft over Golden or Kraft over Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got, especially since we have the Love stack. I think that makes sense. So
So, and the other thing with double stacking here, because again, almost every week we're going to count on our running back to cover the flex, the other quarterbacks to cover the super flex. So we only need 2 receivers every week. McConkey shouldn't do that. Be one of those most of those weeks. Yeah. So, in between Pittman and Downs, we're probably most weeks having a viable Colts receiver. I know there's Pierce, I know there's Mitchell as well, but most weeks we probably have a pretty viable Colts receiver. Now, yes, of course, we want other options to cover that and everything. But you kind of look at it that way, and in terms of our receivers that will start, if we're lucky enough to go to the finals, you kind of think of it. There'd be 17 weeks. That'd be 34 starters, and let's say 4 flex plays. So we need 38 starting receiver weeks. McConkey should cover at least 10, but probably more like 12 to 14. No,
it's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
And the Colts, I think 8 to 10 when we're combining them. So that's just an interesting way to look at it. And I feel really strong. And that's why the other thing with Scatabo, yes, you could say it's overkill, but that's ensuring that our flex is going to be hopefully a running back, assuming these guys stay healthy.
You and Huhames both like Kraft. It makes me feel like you guys are both sharp. I need to get with some more Kraft. Justin says team recap. Let's do that really quick before we come back up. So started from the 3 spot, 4, 5, 3, 1 through. We'll be back up with our 14th round pick here next at 166. Jane Daniels, Jordan Love, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, 2 of them are already stacked. Genty, Walker, Caleb Johnson, Tony Pollard, Cam Scattaboo. So really strong room. So again, as we talked about from the jump and Steve's article on the Substack, dominate quarterback, super flex, running back, flex position. I think mission accomplished with the way we built there. Kind of an elite hero receiver in McConkey. What you just talked about, 2 Colts receivers with Daniel Jones and Tucker Kraft with Jordan Love. I think that all makes a ton of sense strategy-wise. Now we need the player takes wise to work out, and obviously we'll be building out more receivers. This will likely end up being like a 4-6-7-3. As Steve talked about, that was his most popular. I have it still pulled up. Of his 29 playoff teams, 34% advance rate last year, 20 of the 29 were 4-6-7-3. So Steve Justin says, what do you think Underdog brings out next? We were hoping like one of those like poodles or something like that, like a 10 or 20 max or something. But Steven says, I don't know, but I hope they bring 1 or 2 out tomorrow. Yeah. Where is rookie sophomores? I was hoping for a rookie.
Yeah, there's a rumor and I actually think Steven WC talked about it.
Yeah. Steven, get us some intel. Where's the rookies and sophomores?
Let's see here.
Okay, so top of the board.
Can you highlight receiver real quick?
Yeah. Which I assume I need to move down Besh. There has been some whatever. So Besh, Palmer, Tillman, QJ. Do you want to go Tillman? I know you like Tillman. That's kind of.
Yeah, let's go Tillman.
Oops. Okay, so we get our 4th receiver there. We'll be coming back up. Do you want to hit it again with like a Thielen?
Also highlight tight end real quick.
So Strange, this is
Ertz.
Spot, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ertz with the stack, yeah. Okay.
So I'm fine with either of these guys. I prioritize Ertz just because I'd like to get a good second tight end.
It's a good second tight end, and then both tight ends are stacked, and then we'll still probably tack a third one on. So let's do that if he's there. Again, I don't have Steve's most updated rankings in. I will make sure for the next that I will get the updated rankings in. Okay, so we're now at 4-5-4-2 through 15 rounds. So obviously, again, it looks like 1 more running back, few more receivers, and 1 more tight end.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think feel good about our tight end room with Kraft and Ertz, and, we'll tack on 1 more later. Yeah. And, receiver, weaker, but overall, I still think it's fine with McConkey as the guy. Yeah,
that's right. I thought he heard it. Yeah, Stephen WC heard on Pete's After Dark. He had knew me on several weeks ago, and the hope was that maybe rookie sophomores. So hopefully that's still in the works. Hopefully rookie sophomores, but yeah, hopefully something this week because German Shepherd closed, Golden closed. I know the with the Greyhound is still that's a single entry though. So I love the Greyhound advance rate. Oh my God. But I love my Greyhound. I posted it like early. I did it early. Thad likes our Tillman pick. But I need to get some Tillman myself. Andrew does want Badge Bros. He talked about it last night. I do love the Badge Bros draft. I do love that too. So I don't think I did well in it because it's like everybody's building monster super teams.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised Poodle, and again, maybe they'll change some price points around. They've done that before. But Poodle, Chihuahua would be another one they haven't done yet. Nice. So yeah, I could see 1 or 2 of those at least, maybe both.
We got Omega King in here. GM, good to see you. Always good to see you, Omega King. If we get 30 likes, we will be doing another Superflex if anybody wants to join us. Huheem says, my Greyhound was meh. My Golden was a smash. I was kind of reversed. My Golden was meh. I thought my Greyhound was a smash. We'll see. Anytime I label it good, great, amazing, it never turns out that way. So I will not put that pressure on it. Okay, your guy is still there.
One Rizzles. Don't take him. Don't do it to us, Rizzles.
He's got 7 receivers, so
yeah,
that would be a little. All right.
Okay.
Adam Thielen, come on down.
Yeah. I mean, this is easy money.
4-5-5-2. So there we go.
But Thielen is very good for a build like this, where we waited on receiver, high floor, has some spike week upside. Obviously stacks, and we. Excuse me, like just. I think he's underpriced in pretty much every format, but I think really good when you're waiting on a receiver to get a guy like Thielen as your fifth.
Okay, we're up in one. I queued up Dubs stacks with Love, Slayton. We both love. As you can tell, I have 36% in the 11 drafts I completed. Oh, damn, Dubs goes. I was going to really lean into the stack. Could also go like a DeAndre Hopkins. Noel, what do you think here?
Let's do Slayton. I would like to.
Any issues with 14? We just
Thielen.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
we're at this point, we're kind of like anchoring it with McConkey and one of the Colts receivers, and then throwing volume at it.
Yeah.
On Tillman, Thielen, Slayton. That was hard to say for some reason. So 4, 5, 6, 2 with a few more picks to go, like where we're at. Kind of really executing all the things we talked about from the jump.
And just to make a point, like I actually said, I think we've caught up at both tight end and receiver. I think our running back is obviously very strong. I think, we could still probably add one more running back, one more tight end. But that then means, like, do we need to go get a seventh receiver? Because if you're playing it like McConkey's starting most weeks, like we're pretty good. You could take a handcuff quarterback here. Like this could be a Mariota or a Malik Willis to just handcuff a room and ensure that we have that starting quarterback.
I get it. It's a conversation. I think our quarterbacks are so strong that I think we don't need to, but I mean,
we definitely don't need to. But I think my point is, I think we've caught up to the point that we have that as an open possibility again.
Yeah.
In other builds, you feel like you almost have to do it. Here, it's a viable option.
Well, we've talked about it on multiple shows. Like last year, quarterbacks stayed a little healthier. Thank God. I wish there were no injuries. I wish we could turn off the injury switch and no injuries in all of football. It doesn't work that way. But, quarterbacks did stay a little healthier last year. Yeah. I believe it was 14 quarterbacks started all weeks 1 through 17. And so that was, I think, 9 the year prior, 10 the year prior. So, and then it was just much less missed quarterback time last year. If that oscillates back to like the only 9 teams are starting their quarterback the entire year, having a handcuff, can be pretty powerful here. Also, that handcuff is going to be super low owned too.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we don't want injuries. Like when I suggested to Mike Robb about Zach Wilson, or when you talked about Mariota, like for, having Jaden, like we don't want injuries, but they do happen. Okay. We're back on the clock. How do you want to handle this?
Highlight tight end real quick.
Oh yeah. It's getting thin there. I like Theo Johnson or Arroyo.
Let's go Theo.
Any issues? 5-12. So no, let's do that.
Yeah.
Have a little Giants correlation.
A lot of Giants with Scatterboo, Slayton, and Theo, but one thing
they're
about
good
the
values,
outside of neighbors, they're very cheaply priced. Even if it's a bad offense again, and I think the offense will get better. I mean, Russ is an upgrade. Dart should be an upgrade. If Winston's playing, he's an upgrade. So, yeah.
If you want to go running back here and then just decide if we go 7th receiver or 5th handcuff.
What I would point to, I think this is the type of team to do it when we have 5 backs we feel really good about. I don't mind Brashard Smith, but I would point to Monangai.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, just taking that upside swing, lower owned guy.
Yeah, exactly. There was good camp and coach speak on Monangai, and there have been on some of these other backs as well. But look, I'm taking Roschon and Swift now that Chubb and Dobbins have signed, but there's an outcome where Kyle Monangai is that guy, and you can make the same case for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
Yeah,
of course, Devin Neal, Taj Brooks, all these guys.
You called Taj Brooks at the beginning of like big board, so I'm still like Taj Brooks now. They landed with Cincy.
I think FK cooler. Like that was also on my short list. And look, Brashard Smith, the Chiefs beat reporters, highlighted some big plays. Brashard Smith has made in camp the last couple of days. So I think all
Hey,
these guys.
McKinnon was on my BBM3 finals team. Maybe I can run it back with Rashad Smith because he's kind of in that mold, right?
Absolutely. And that's also when, honestly, one of the things like Mahomes has been lacking these last couple of years has been that passing down back.
Yeah.
You know, when even 2 years ago, when Tyreek Hill moved on and, you know, Juju was their number one receiver, Mahomes threw for 40 plus touchdowns, 5,000 yards. Kelsey, of course, that's when Kelsey dominated.
Kelsey
But McKinnon had 9 touchdowns. He had 500 or 600 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. Like, that pass catching back has been something that, you know, Mahomes has really utilized.
Yeah. So catch up with chat real quick. My team makes Steve take his socks off when he drafts too. We will check out quickly after this wraps up to check out the drafts of Coolers and Mike Robb. Love it. The Cooler says, I try to stay in my lane. Dubs was a week 17 bring back with Lamar. Then we took Theo Johnson. So he said, now I'm glad I took Dubs. This is war. Love it. And then with JT Best Ball, great to see you. Thank you so much for jumping in chat with us. Steve will be on JT Best Ball at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. Yep. So be sure to check that out. Great to see you. And I will be on with JT Best Ball. He's a big show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then following that, I'll be here on the Fanspeak Network with Cody off the Shoup, who was in the chat earlier, for Friends of Best Ball at 8 p.m. Eastern. So fun lineup coming up here. Huhaim says, by the way, Coach Speak just dropped a thing on Rasheed Simmons, both expect to be full participants. I did see that. I do need to start to take more Rasheed Rice. It's more just a matter of
honestly, the biggest piece of news there is Josh Simmons. Like, gain a legit left tackle.
Yeah.
Mahomes has missed that for years. That could be huge for him. We saw it in the Super Bowl. They just couldn't do anything. And yet we saw at the same time in the Super Bowl, Xavier Worthy torching the best defense in the league.
Yeah. 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 And he agreed with you. Simmons is the real news. Yeah. No, that is a great point. And Huhames is a Chiefs fan. So question is, Steve, do you want to go receiver? Let's take a cool look at your guy MVS. Is there. That's your guy. We're on the clock. Or do you want to go like a handcuff? Willis, Mariota.
I'll let you make the call. I'm honestly good with any of these 3 picks. You got
2 seconds. Okay. I worry about James. Yeah, we got him. I worry Huhames. I'm doing it for Huhames. Mentioned it on a show. You and Huhames talked about Mariota's probably the best last round pick because let's be honest. Okay. I literally am jealous of Jaden Daniels' frame. He's so petite. Like we're not small people. I'm 5'9". Steve's like 6'5". Like, I'm so jealous of my quarterback's petiteness. I would love to be more petite. And so when you're jealous of your quarterback's body frame and you're a woman, I don't know. I just don't know that says I'm going to play 17 games, you know? So he did miss a game and a half, and Mariota looked amazing. I hope Jaden plays all the games. I hope he does, but I am a little skeptical. So that was embarrassing to admit, but I'm jealous of how petite he is. I want to be that petite.
But no, and just to the actual logical side of the build, did we need that? No.
No, Jaden would probably not want to hear that. I don't even like admitting that. I mean, I'm just like, I'm so jealous. I'm like, oh my God, I would pay to be that petite.
But whether it was Mariota or Willis, like we just see like the 2 games that Mariota played, again, neither was a full game. He had 19 and 24 fantasy points. The 2 games Malik Willis played, it was like 23 or 24 and 13. Mm-hmm. And that 13 is going to would hit a super flex more than basically any receiver or running back we're taking most weeks. So it's just that kind of mentality.
All right, you look at the numbers. If we hit 30, let's review the teams.
Yeah, last I saw we were at 31.
Oh, thank you guys. We appreciate it. We will rip another one quickly here. Let's quickly go through from the 2-spot. Coolers drafted with us 4-6-8-2, like that build structure. Lamar, Herbert, Darnold. We talked about 3 in the first, I believe 4 or 5. I believe first 5. Russell Wilson makes a ton of sense. He's going to start games. Henry, JT, Swift, Najee, Roshan, Taj Brooks. That's a loaded running back room. Absolutely love that. Tet, DK Metcalf, Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman, Quentin Johnson Romeo Dubs, who he sniped us on, but we sniped him back accidentally. Sorry, coolers. Dante Thornton, and he got MVS when we took Mariota. Mark Andrews and Brenton Strange. I absolutely love this team. It's basically everything you talked about from the jump, everything you wrote about in your two SuperFlex articles on this Fanspeak Substack, but especially the one today. Absolutely love it. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, very strong quarterback room, strong running back room, tight ends, only need two receivers, some good guys early, or, I know he weighed a little bit, but still very strong. He has the depth there with, I think he had 8. And yeah, why not take some late round shots on like Thornton and MVS to be some spike week guys and hit your lineup a few times. So no, very, very strong team. No question about it.
Okay. Dad's laughing at the Mariota pick. Mike Grubb says your eyebrows put him to shame. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Who Hames knows our Scattaboo love. I keep trying to get less Scattaboo, balancing it out, but he keeps falling, being here 10 picks past ADP. I know if he's going to fall, we're going to take him. So I agree, Who Hames. And then Cooler says my wide receiver room feels a little thinner, so I went 8th over 13th.
I think that was the right call.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. I absolutely love the whole build. Honestly, the player takes everything. Mike Robb from the 10 spot, they said this is going to knock your socks off, Steve. 4, 6, 7, 3. That's the build you did at 20 and 29 of your advanced, your playoff teams. The structure: Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud, Tua Tagovailoa, Dylan Gabriel, the backup tacked on. We talked about how the Browns could start them all. Breece Hall, James Cook, Travis Etienne, Tyler Algier, Rico Dow, Blake Corum, Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Stephon Diggs, Trey Harris, Pat Bryant, Jalen Noel. That's a fun receiver room. Njoku, Kincaid, and Gadsden. That's a fun one. Lots of good coach speak on Gadsden there. Love that. My only note would be I would have thrown on Zach Wilson to have like the exact handcuff. But I mean, like you said, if a backup hits, it could hit. And so, again, you went 3 quarterbacks in the first 4, and that's exactly what we're saying. Definitely built out a nice, projectable volume running backs to start, and then still went 6. I like that. So yeah, love the build. Like this team too. I think it's gonna be hard to get out of this room, Steve.
Yeah, no, I think very strong quarterbacks, 3 starters, and Dylan Gabriel's a decent enough lotto ticket in this kind of format. I mean, we're not taking him at all in BBM, but in this, sure, and especially where you're getting him. Running backs kind of like a double anchor with some upside plays like ETN, et cetera. Algier, solid floor guy. Rico, Corum, but the receivers are really strong, which probably like when I talked about receivers probably only going to hit our flex 4 times in Mike's build, it's probably going to be more like 8 or 10 times. Nothing wrong with that, right? Because those are good guys. Like Diggs was his 5th receiver or 4th receiver. Diggs could be number 1 on the Patriots. So yeah, and tight ends, I like 2 guys you count on, and then that upside shot in Gadsden.
Yeah, that's fun. Like he said, Coach Speaks hard to take seriously with the Chargers, but still a fun upside swing in a 20-round draft for sure.
Exactly. Again, we're not going to really take them in a lot of 18-round drafts. I've taken them once or twice, but in this, I've taken them a little bit more.
I think if there's continues to be positive Coach Speak, it could be a fun time box tournament pick. Earlier in the summer, taking that chance, even in the 18 rounds. Okay. We thank you for being in the draft with us, being in the chat with us, joining us here on the stream, hitting that like button, get us to 30 likes. Because we got 30 likes, we are doing a 20-second puppy Superflex. So 20-second Superflex. I'm counting down. If you want to join us in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And we're in 4. So if you want to join us, plenty of room to jump in. Can have another little fun friends and family draft here. One more to start, and we will get this going. But again, we appreciate you joining us on the stream, in chat, in the drafts, hitting the like button. Hopefully you're subbed to this Fanspeak Network. And again, check out, as we wait for this draft to start, the subscription, the Fanspeak Substack for $34.99, just essentially under $35 for the entire year. We will be adding more content too after the best ball season. So we promise it'll definitely be worth your while. And Steve had his Superflex article today breaking down, 34% advanced rate in Superflex and 3 finals teams. We talked about that 3, 6, 7, 3. So we appreciate it. Okay, we are starting Superflex number 2. I know we got Omega King in the 3 spot. He joined us in the chat. Thank you, Omega King. Farchi, I don't know if he's in chat. If you are, let us know, is at 5. We are at 8. And Coolers is at 12. So yeah, if there's anybody I missed, please let me know. But we are at the 8 spot, which is the spot where it's kind of past that first tier quarterback, Steve. So it'll be interesting to see what you decide to do there.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what to do, not having a top 4 pick, but
nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
No, I know. But no, it is interesting. This is where I'm probably taking a running back most times. And I think just because he rarely falls to there, if like Chase was there, I think you can make that case as well. But typically I take a running back here.
Okay, B Grandy is at the 10 spot as well. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, so Omega King 3, Farachi 5. We are at 8. B Grandy 10 and Coolers 12. Love it. Great to see that as well. Omega King said got the 101 at 103.
He's saying he got Daniels should be the 101.
Oh, got the 101 at the 103. I get it.
I hope so, because that was our pick. Our team last year.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, Farachi is in chat, or Farachi, if I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. Is in chat. Good luck. Hope one of us drafts a winner here. Absolutely, we appreciate it.
I think it's Farachi, but
Farachi, thank you. No, but thank you for joining. Oh shoot, we're on the clock. Let me. Okay, so Chase and Jefferson go. Do you want to go Bijan or
let's go Barkley or Bijan?
Which one you choose?
Let's go Barkley.
Okay, I think I have. Well, I had 9% about. I only have 11 drafts, so it's not like I have a ton. So probably looking at quarterbacks, I'm just going to queue them all up so we can just see what falls. Baker already goes. Where does Drake May usually go? Damn it, I want Drake May, but that's way too early. So we'll be up in 5. But laughing at Mike Robb, you also get a weekly restaurant and movie review from Steve with the Fanspeak subscription. Hey, we could add that. Steve's pointing me to some pretty good movies. I will say that.
Good luck to you also, Farachi.
What's that?
I say good luck to Farachi and everyone else in the chat joining us.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So coming back, I will say if Christian McCaffrey falls to 17, that would be tempting.
Yeah, I still think we should go quarterback with the way it's going.
Why? Because it's a quarterback heavy room.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Christian McCaffrey. Okay. I like Caleb Williams over Kyler if you want to go quarterback.
Okay, let's go Caleb.
You're fine with that?
Yeah.
All right. If you're making me pass on CMC, I just want to be so in on the Bears offense.
No, absolutely. And just to the point, like Caleb was like a kind of a round 1-2 quarterback pick last year in Superflex. There were multiple playoff teams where he had Caleb. Obviously, it didn't help me in the playoffs. Really, those were not great games. One of those games.
Yeah, he was on your 4th place big board, actually.
Yeah. And but so, it just also shows where even when guys don't have their best year, the quarterback position is just so
That agrees
valued.
with me. Always Caleb. There we go. Go ahead.
The quarterback position is just so valued. Even when they're not having a great year, I advance in numerous Caleb teams. Like,
yeah,
in Superflex. He was probably not my quarterback, but he was probably hitting my Superflex a fair number of times.
Do you remember you'll have to read what your highest scoring Superflex team was? Cooler says, I almost took Purdy CMC because I don't think that combo will be owned much. That would be awesome. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Instead of Gibbs, Purdy, CMC, Purdy. I actually think that is something that I would like to try to accomplish. Coolers, that makes sense. But I mean, you gotta love Gibbs Purdy for sure.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey did go at 19, but I absolutely think you could pull him up at the turn, especially correlating with Purdy. I think that would be really fun in Superflex.
Yeah, no, and just with the way his ADP is moving. But I don't think he flips Gibbs, but will probably be right there next to Gibbs.
Come on, one more. Come on, May. Follow us, please. Yes, I need more Drake May. Didn't even ask you.
She's got such a poker face, guys.
Well, goats or go to champs, I don't think is in the chat. He wanted to get McCarthy. He had Jefferson. So it all worked out.
What did you think the name of that was?
Go. Oh, boy. I don't know. Go to Wags.
I think it's Go Dogs Champs 2020 or 22.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Go Dogs Champs. Okay, Steve, you could have let that slide. Jesus. We got the disbanded Brotherhood dot. Always good to see you. Yeah. You couldn't have let that slide, Steve.
I had no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, now I see Go Dogs Champs. Now you say that. Didn't see it earlier. Oh, Cooler's got Kittle though with Purdy. Ooh, that's fun.
I like that.
I like that a lot. That's fun.
And like I am generally down on elite tight end and
not Kittle when you have Purdy.
And even though he's definitely above ADP, like you can make up for it. And that's probably where I typically, if I'm getting one of those early 3-court tight ends, I do stop at 2 for sure.
Okay, Penix, when I had him queued, do you want to go Jacobs for 2-2 or do you want to pull up Bryce Young again?
Do Jacobs. Let's do a little different build this time.
Yeah, I agree. So 2-2, Caleb May, love that. 2 quarterbacks I'm super high on in Classic. We get in SuperFlex, different buys. Saquon Jacobs. Oh, that was on my Bulldog and Marathon team. Love that. So feeling really good vibes. We got to land this plane after 4 picks, Steve.
Yeah, no, I like this start as well. And
I have some ideas of what we can do at the 5th with the 5th round pick. I'm not going to say it though.
Okay. Oh my.
All right. We demand excellence here on the Fanspeak Network. I still can't believe I said I could not read Go Dogs 2020 or 2202 or
2022. Whatever. You see when the name up top.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
Yeah, which makes sense, Georgia.
Absolutely, Hugh Haynes. We do demand excellence here on the Fanspeak Network. Site lagged on me, so not intended. Oh, the Kittle thing?
Yeah.
I think it's
fine. I figured he probably had them for the next one because you typically can get that. But, at the end of the day, I say this before, and granted, we know a number of people in this room, but these SuperFlex drafts, I think, quickly go from a 2 of 12 to like a 2 of 11, 2 of 10, 2 of 9 in a lot of cases. So there's ways to make up for it. I would, particularly since you took them earlier, I would probably stop at 2 tight ends because Kittle is just so good. But yeah.
I need more Kittle in Classic in all formats, honestly. Okay.
I doubt we're that lucky. There's 2 guys with only 1 quarterback right here.
Yeah. There goes one. What does go? Nope. What about this?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You hadn't changed the rankings yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't changed the rankings yet. I do need to update your rankings on here. You can use Steve's SuperFlex rankings too. Substack link $34.99 for the entire year. Link in the description. I know some of the people in chat have access, and we appreciate you as subscribers. So yeah, I need to update your rankings. But we start 3, 2, 0, obviously. But Caleb, Drake May, Aaron Rodgers, I absolutely love that start, considering we went Saquon Barkley and then tacked on Josh Jacobs. So I'm very happy with that start. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think we're in a good position. There's a number of guys here coming up, both running back and receiver, that I think we can point to.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I like James Cook and Mixon, but I feel like we can get some nice fallbacks to us because this range is loaded. I wouldn't mind getting an elite one of these guys as our elite receiver. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably lean Adams first.
Okay. McCain made
decision made for us.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. Attacking on Adams there. I like that. I like that a good bit. So Coolers was able to get Daniel Jones in the 6th round as his 3rd QB. I like that because after that, there's a pretty big tier break.
Yeah. So. I mean, I do think Tyler Shuck is fine in this because, again, pretty much any quarterback can be viable. But no, I think Daniel Jones, it's worth it to pull him up and, it makes more sense because I have Daniel Jones in the 70s, but in his situation, I would have done the exact same thing. Like make sure I have my 3rd starter.
Mm-hmm. Cooler says going to be tough to fix Kittle issue, but gotta do my best. I get that you're saying if he would have gone later, whatever, the 2v2 or whatever. But honestly, like I think Kittle is. I mean, I think he could finish tight end 1 again. He's correlated. You still started 2 very good running backs and 3 quarterbacks, and then Kittle. So I like what you've got going on.
Yeah, no, I mean it's still definitely viable.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So there was a little run on running backs here. Hopefully a decent one falls back to us at 80. It looks like there's plenty of ones on the board that we still like. I'll just cue them up. Yeah, a lot of starters, even if you wanted to go 2 running backs here, or they could go like almost like a second elite receivers correlated with Rodgers because of all the receiver stats. Like, I mean, DK should be the absolute alpha there in Pittsburgh. So I will throw that out.
Yeah, well. I think I'd go running back here first.
Oh, no, definitely. No, I was saying that for we have 2 picks. So DK Metcalf goes. Go Dogs takes it. But David Montgomery, Caleb, we took the last time. Quinchon, Tony Pollard. Do you want to go David Montgomery?
Let's go David Montgomery.
Yeah, he's the top of your rankings, I believe. Yeah, he was the top of your rankings. Yeah. So we'll be up in 7 picks. I was going to say Travis Hunter, but he just went. Cortland Sutton, Devonta Smith, and then there are still really good running backs. Okay,
yeah. I would. I mean, if a running back, if one of those 3 running backs comes up, I absolutely would take them.
Yeah. So then kind of start 3-4-1 because we did anchor it with Devontae.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Okay. Junkins goes. We're up in 3. We'll stay here. Obviously, Caleb correlates. We did take Caleb last time, but you and I are both very high on Caleb Johnson. So he does correlate to Rodgers there. Travion Henderson went.
Yeah. No, I think go Caleb here.
Okay, great.
Really good 4th running back. And it's very similar. It ends up being not exactly the same build as last time. We had 4 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, and an anchor.
Yeah.
Receiver, but kind of close. And honestly, to me, it makes more sense to increase our running back talent with our quarterback being a little less than, say, last draft.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Omega King is up now. Let's take a look at other folks in the chat. We talked about Coolers started, still got 3 starting quarterbacks. We believe Daniel Jones is a starter. Gibbs, Hampton, so 2 running backs. Kittle correlated, then tacked on Jennings correlated, Junkins. So I love that. Omega King went Jaden at Genty, similar to what we did. We started Jaden Genty, and then Goff, McBride, Ladd, Kamara, Tet, Zay Flowers. He's on the clock now. So definitely like that he got 2 in the first 3 and, has definitely at least a couple of starting running backs there. Farachi, right?
Farachi.
Farachi. Sorry. Farachi. Okay. He goes Burrow, Kyler, to start. So 2 in the first 3, BTJ, Chase Brown, Brees Hall, then hits running back hard. I like that a lot, actually. So he gets his 2 quarterbacks, then goes an elite receiver, then hammers running back like 4 in a row, and then tacks on Chris Olave. And then B. Grandy will be up soon. Baker, Bo Nix, Bucky Irving, Trevor Lawrence, love that 3 in the first 4, and then anchored by Bucky. Marvin Harrison, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter, still an amazing receivers. Tax on Pacheco, who I need to raise up my rankings. We'll be adjusting our rankings tomorrow or Saturday. We are back on the clock. We got Rome that correlates. I like that. What do you think? I mean, there's other running back options. Of course, if we want to go Scottaboo, Mason, in our next pick that's up in 8. But we start 3. But I think to kind of like double anchor and correlate, I think that made sense to get Rome there.
I agree. And because our running backs are even stronger the first 4 than last time, maybe we take, I was going to say Mason if he comes back to us, but, we'll see if Scattaboo's there. We don't have to go that route. We could go another receiver. I like Pearsall. I like Ricky. Yeah.
We still are up in 6. I got to read Fancy Dog. First of all, he always drops in the like of how many likes, and we appreciate that. He does it. I love that he keeps posted in chat. 38 likes. 38th like. We appreciate you. And then this is so nice. Fanspeak Network, 2 of my favorite people on the planet. Present chatters excluded. Don't ask about the other planets. No, that is so kind, Fancy Dog. We appreciate you. Thank you for being in chat with us. Thank you for saying you are too kind. Thank you very much. We're glad you are enjoying this. Oh shit, Scattaboo is coming back up there. I mean, I can't not.
It's like Godfather 3. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Unless you want to pull up another running back after him in your ranks. Again, I need to update your ranks here. Top of the board on receivers is Debo Myers, Jaden Reed, Golden. Diggs does correlate. Let's
do Diggs just so.
No. Are you sure?
Yes, you're 72% Scattaboo.
It's only 11 drafts. All right.
Okay.
We correlated. That was boring.
Oh my.
It's all your fault, Steve. Like, yes, I'm hitting you with well, you give us the numbers. We appreciate you, Fantasy Dog. I blame you. Like, as big board season started, you sent me Scattaboo highlight clips. I mean, what was I supposed to do then?
That is fair.
What's wrong with 72%? Oh my, 72%. Okay, I swear it's only 11 drafts. It's only 11 drafts.
Oh my.
I've got some slows going, and then
we also did one before.
What's that? Oh yeah. We did. Yeah, and I probably have them in the slows too. So.
Oh my.
72% right, James. It's like barely passing in school. Exactly.
Oh, geez.
Oh, this is funny. I heard Steve say refund on all subscriptions. It's got to be top 15 running back.
Oh.
Oh my! We are not making that claim. However, we are very bullish on Scattaboo. I love him in all formats, but I'm trying to draft the hell out of him in the marathon because if he stays healthy, I just think it's all about like outperform your ADPs season long. So
yeah,
and let's be honest, I love him in all formats. So yeah, absolutely. All right. So, all right, Matt. Why can I not read? Is it Matter Dude? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Matter Dude kept us from upping the percentage more. He does take Scattaboo.
Yeah.
And so we will be back up here soon. 2 picks kind of coming in. So we didn't get Mooney last time. If you wanted to he goes. Okay. Go Dogs is so top of your ranks, Cup, Jonnu, Jaden, Higgins, Tootin, Trey Harris.
Let's do Trey Harris.
I kind of like that. Yeah. All right. What is running back looking like? Do you want to pull up like a Ray Davis or I need to get more ETN. I feel like I need to bump him up and keep kind of I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I just do not know what to do with the Jacksonville situation. So if you wanted to go Tootin, I would.
Can you scroll down a little bit since these are
older rankings.
Yeah.
So these are your from a couple weeks ago: Tootin, Davis, White, Spears, Blue, Eckler. But then we're getting into like
Can you look at our team real quick? I just want to check our buy. Can you look at our team real quick?
Yeah. So our buys are 9, 5, 8, 5.
Yeah. So we had 2-1. So
there's no other. I was looking to see if there's any like quarterbacks like a Russ, or that's long gone because we're in round 12 now. So we'll just wait to tack on one or two of like, we could do like Cousins or Flacco later, anyways.
Yeah.
So Dobbins just got pulled up by B. Grandy. Tootin goes. Do you want to go Ray Davis or do you want to go somewhere else on the board?
Let's go Ray Davis.
I like Ray Davis a lot. And it's right at his ADP.
Yeah.
And they're by week 7, right? So it's a different bye week too, which is nice. So we are at 3, 5, 4. Pretty typical for us. So I like where we're at.
Yeah. And let's see. We're coming to what are our next 2 pick numbers?
My God, I'm getting screwed by the Underdog handles today. I cannot read the Underdog handles ever. ETN over Scatterboo feels wrong. I agree. Always good to see Al Boogie. Always good to see Al Boogie. What's up, good people? Yes, always good to see. And everybody else is saying hello to the great Al Boogie. Good to see you, my friend. All right, we are coming around to the 13th round here, Steve.
What are our next 2 pick numbers?
So our next 2 pick numbers are 152 and 161.
Okay. So, I mean,
there's some interesting, stuff. If you want to double stack Chicago, Burden and Colston, Loveland are there. Kyle Williams is there. If you want to double stack May, and this is, by the way, basketball overlay. Use code Fanspeak for 25% off, $10 off a month. For just $30 a month, you can get this access where you are seeing your exposures. Again, this is, I swear, only through 11 SuperFlex drafts, these exposures. I have 45% Luther Burden, 54% Rashad White. So tells you, Kyle Williams, I've only got once, Colston Loveland once. So it helps tell you your exposures, but also highlights your correlations and then shows you the bringbacks, the playoff bringbacks.
Could you sort by ADP real quick?
Yeah. So Loveland Blue, Kyle Williams, Garendo, Sanders, Burden. Yeah, Flacco's gone too. Oh shit!
Do Kyle Williams. Do Kyle Williams.
Okay, over Burden.
Yeah, I think both Burden and Loveland are sliding due to the soft tissue injuries and everything.
Yeah, maybe we could take one of them next if you wanted to.
Yeah, so I figured one might be there when we get back. And if not, like I also like Ferguson in this range for a tight end.
Where did Flacco? So Flacco just went to Faraci, which I think is a good pick.
I like Flacco
in 13, and Cousin and Omega King got Cousins. I was like, damn, we should have looked Cousins, Flacco, and it goes to the 2 of the guys in the chat. Sharp, I like it, very smart. So what were you going to say? Sorry.
Yeah, no, Flacco was definitely somebody I was originally looking at, but I saw that he went.
So we are coming up in 4. Burden is still queued. If we wanted to grab him with like as a Chicago double stack, Eckler is queued just as like a 6th running back. So we'll take a look at tight. Then this is a good tight end range as well.
Yeah. We could definitely pull up Brian Muth
too. Yeah. Because that's right around his ADP. So where are you leaning? So Burden goes, let's go Brian Muth.
Brian Muth, yeah. If Burden was there, that would have been interesting, but I think Brian Muth makes most sense.
Well, then so far we've stacked everybody because we have Caleb and Rome. We have Drake May and Steph Diggs and Kyle Williams, and we have Aaron Rodgers and Caleb Johnson and Pat Freiermuth. And I know in Superflex you're not, like going out of your way to stack at the like expense of the team structure, basically. But when you can, you're obviously looking to, and we were able to do it naturally. So,
yeah, no, this is a little bit of a concern because two of our quarterbacks had the same bye. So that week, we only have one option for the quarterback position and none for Superflex. But I think we're definitely obviously going to have a fourth quarterback. Could even go fifth again for this kind of build. I think our running backs are really strong. Receivers, I think, are in a good place, and Fryme's a good start at tight end.
Got love for obviously Boogie and everybody in chat. Always love seeing that. Fancy Dog says, love Steve's aura. Feels like I'm being tutored. Yes, who aims? I was tutored during detention after school. That's hysterical. So yeah, Steve, you're giving good advice to the people. We appreciate it. And Thad in chat, the Muth, I absolutely love where Freiermuth goes. Think he's such a good fit in an Aaron Rodgers offense. So yeah, like getting that stack naturally right is his ADP as well. Okay, we're up in one, Steve. I don't know. I don't mind like a Braylon Allen. We're up on the clock, or Will Shipley, honestly, if you want to just go ahead and get our sixth running back. What do you see that you want to do? 10 seconds.
Let's take Braylon Allen.
Okay, I like that. Any bye week issues?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have taken Shipley because we have Barkley, but
that's right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we start 3, 6, 5, 1. Likely still going to end up around a 4, 6, 7, 3, most likely. Any quarterbacks that you want to pull up, you could handcuff Rodgers. You could do, I mean, we don't have to do it now, but like, I think if an injury happens, like a Jameis Winston becomes, like an injury to a playoff caliber team, I think a Jameis Winston becomes really interesting.
No, I think that's fair. I think there's multiple outs for Winston to start this year, whether it's somebody trades for him, whether the Giants just decide to cut him at some point, almost to cut him for his benefit to get on a better team, or with the Giants. Like, look, if Russ were to go down with injury early, I don't know if it's going to be Jackson Dart. I think Dart plays at the end, but Winston could come in there for, a good chunk of the season because their biggest thing is get Malik Neighbors happy.
I say we go Winston. I mean, yes, he currently has the same bye as May, but I mean, again, he couldn't get moved too. So,
we'll see. Not right here. No.
He's not going to fall back to us.
No, do not take Winston here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, he is. He's 2-3. My bad. You want to go Thielen?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was reading the wrong ADP. Whoops. I mean, maybe he won't fall back to us, but I
think Winston almost always goes in the, or if at all, 19th, 20th round.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay, 3, 6, 6, 1. We got a little break here. We'll be back up in 13 picks. Sorry about that. I was reading the wrong ADP, and for some reason I read him as 185, but I must have been reading Thielen or somebody else I had queued.
Yeah, I think it was Thielen.
Whoops, my fault. People like the Muth take. Yes, I really think Winston plays somewhere, especially if like you said, if injury happens on the Giants. What's that?
Yes, this is SuperFlex.
Yes, yeah. So this is our second SuperFlex of the night. We talked about Steve's article they just posted on the Fanspeak Substack about his 34% advance rate and 3 finals teams and kind of what those teams look like. 3, 4, 6, 7, 3 was a big build structure. So we're kind of adhering to that, though. We did do 5 quarterbacks in the last one with a handcuff situation.
And generally 3 quarterbacks through the first 5 rounds, a lot of times through the first 4 rounds for those who came in late.
Yeah. Meant to ask, I haven't been getting a lot of Penix this year. Think it'll come back to haunt me. Playoff weeks. They do have a great playoff schedule. I'm trying to get more. He kind of goes at the end of that tier of rounds 8 through 13 quarterbacks and classic contests that I love. And so I need to get more. Honestly, I've gotten him more with like when he's stacked, but I do need to get him more.
Okay. We're on the clock and I don't want us to take Winston. So.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Oops. Okay. Noel, Michael Wilson, 10 seconds.
Michael Wilson.
I'm just going to hit it here. Okay. So Okay, so we're 3, 6, 7. So now we're going to basically tack on a quarterback and 2 tight ends. What late tight ends? You have Schultz, Juwan Johnson. We took Theo last time, but I like
Let's
Ferguson.
move Winston to the bottom so we don't.
Yes, I will. I was queuing up more tight ends. Is there anybody else that you wanted to like pull way up?
No,
I guess we'll do that later. All right, we might miss out on Winston.
Okay.
No, we should get our second tight end here. So top of the board, Juwan Johnson. So yeah, because we're already done it. Essentially, running back, receiver. Want to tack on one more quarterback, and then need 2 more tight ends. So because our first tight end's trying me. So yeah, so Juwan Johnson, Theo Johnson, Terrence Ferguson, Arroyo. Nothing looks to correlate really to anything we have, unless I'm sure there's some skinny stuff within there.
Yeah, no, I think Juwan or Theo, would be my preference. I think those are clear starters. Ferguson and Arroyo are more upside plays.
Yeah. Okay, Juwan goes. We did it last time, but I don't care. I think there's been some good coach speak about Theo Johnson. And this is second year?
This is the second year.
Okay, do you want to go Theo Johnson?
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, then we'll be up in 14 for 2 more picks, and then will be our second Superflex of the night. This has been fun. So do we answer the Michael Penix question? How much Penix are you getting?
I'd have to check my percentage. I'm definitely not super high, and I do agree. Like, we like his stacking options in Bijan, London, and Mooney. They all go top 100 picks. Bijan, London, in top 16.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why he doesn't typically fall. But yeah, it's tough to click him over some guys who we've seen it done before. The Loves, the Strouds, guys like that who have done it. Kind of same with JJ McCarthy. Like, we know the offense is great, we know the weapons are great, but we just haven't seen it. And that makes it a little tough. But I agree. Like, I think we want these guys. Some of them are going to fail. Some are going to succeed. We know this every year. And it's the article you wrote about Aaron Rodgers. He's going as quarterback 28. There's no, the chance that he's quarterback 28 at the end of the year is, if he's healthy, is almost nil. Yeah.
Agree. Huim says, I think I'm going to start making some Dante. What am I struggling with? The pronunciations.
Dontavious Walker.
Dontavious Walker. Whoa. In Superflex.
Devontae Walker.
Yeah. Was May's receiver at UNC with the Ravens. Good coach speak on him. I do think in the 20-round drafts that are still time box contests, taking shots like that make a ton of sense. Fancy Dog says, stay away from Steve. Steve has him on cue after pick 150, just like me. Yep. All right. We will be back up in a minute, and then I'll get to the rest of the chat. All right. So do you want to go Winston?
Go Ferguson.
Okay.
There's other options. Tight end is basically dead at this point.
Okay, who would be your other options? I mean, hopefully Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. So I'm taking a crap load of marathon.
Kenny Pickett? No. My next option would be Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields has never started a full season.
Yeah, that's true. All right. See, I want to take Winston House so he goes up, and others take him more often.
I would prefer. I honestly would prefer Tyrod Taylor of these.
Oh no, I've been talking about Winston this whole time. Jameis is hysterical. Tim T says.
Yeah, I mean, if we got meme points, Winston's the clear number one.
Mike Rob says Titans about dead. The Commander's top tight end is still there. I guess he's looking for the second year.
Ben Sinnott, yeah.
Ben Sinnott. Did the Pacers win?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm not
nice.
Up to date on that.
I did not pay attention to basketball much at all this season. But Tim, are you a Pacers fan? Oh, we are on the clock. Okay, we're on the clock.
Go Tyrod. You have twice as much Winston as Tyrod.
Well, I have 11 drafts. So I have 2 Winstons and 1 Tyrod. So, but yes. So you want to go Tyrod here?
Yep.
Okay. It is made. Yes. Okay. So we went 4, 6, 7, 3 from the 8 spot. Caleb Williams. Thankfully, I got another Drake May share. Falls to us. Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor. You just pointed out that Justin Fields has never played a full season. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Caleb Johnson, Ray Davis, Braylon Allen. 2 of those correlate. One with the backup quarterback, Devontae Adams, Rome Odunze, Stephon Diggs. Those both obviously are stacked. Trey Harris, Kyle Williams also stacked with May, Adam Thielen, Michael Wilson, Pat Freiermuth stacked with Rodgers. And then it was, I will go back to it. It was Theo Johnson and Ferguson from the Rams. I'm blanking on it, but let's check out the other teams in the draft. So that covered ours. Let's check out Omega King. 5663. Okay, so I know you got 2 starters and then he threw quantity.
I mean, he did build it differently, but he did very similar to what we did last time. 5 quarterbacks, 663. And he did the, handcuffing Daniels and getting, I think Malik Willis is another one of these really good backups.
Yeah.
And Cousins, we know, if it's for Penix or on another team, Cousins.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned the Jameis Sifton injury. If there's multiple injuries, like Cousins is going to be the first guy called.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, I like that. 2 starters, 1 handcuff, 1 other backup, and then Cousins, who absolutely will be called quickly, especially if any contenders lose their quarterback early. Genty, Kamara, Najee, Charbonnet, Eckler, Jerome Ford. I really like that running back room. Strong, very strong room. Overall, Ladd McConkey, a lot of team correlation there too. Tet McMillan, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Jalen McMillan, Darius Slayton. And I think, with getting especially Ladd and Tet, you can definitely stop at 6 receivers with the 6 receivers you got. So I like that a lot. Trey McBride, Tucker Kraft, and Zach Ertz. So I like the 5-6-6-3 here. I think it makes a lot of sense. Any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, no, I think definitely stopping at 6 receivers, similar to what we did last time with Ladd as our anchor and another good one in Tet. We had a similar build last time, and like you recognized, you only got the 2 clear starters. So let's take get the handcuff, which is perfect because you're going to have the Washington quarterback situation. And then 2 of the other best backup options out there in Cousins and Malik Willis.
Okay. They're up 22 at halftime. If they win, it goes to game 7. All right. Yeah, gotta love Jameis's interviews and press conferences. They are awesome. But we like that team a lot. Omega King, good luck to you as well. We appreciate it. Cooler says fixing that kiddo mess is like cleaning the house before mom and dad get home and yell at me. Well, we're going to look at that in just 1 minute. I'm sure you did just fine. Huhaim says Willis is one of my favorites now, as the backups. That's a good point too. And I gotta tell you, Omega King, Huhaim's all on craft. I gotta get in on getting more craft exposure. Okay. Farachi from the 5 spot, 3-6-9-2. So Burrow, Murray, Joe Flacco, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Travion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, very strong running back room there. Excuse me, Brian Thomas, Chris Olave, Matthew Golden, Rashad Bateman, Christian Kirk, Quentin Johnson, Sovis, Jermaine Burton, Deontay Johnson. So obviously you got some late stacks with Burrow, and then Travis Kelce and Chig Okonkwo. My only thoughts on this one is to the beginning of the 4-6-7-3, I like what he did with the running back room. I would have thrown another quarterback in there, whatever it is, whether it was a handcuff or a backup or somebody a little earlier, just to have a more sturdy quarterback room. But obviously starting Burrow Murray is really nice. I love the running back room. I don't think you need 9 receivers here, especially anchored by BTJ. And then 2 tight ends is fine in this build, but they're both the same bye week. So I would probably make sure a different bye week if you wanted to stop at 2 with Kelce and somebody else. And then I probably would have made this a 4-6-7-3. But other than that, I mean, like a lot of the players, and again, your top 2 quarterbacks and running back rooms, ridiculous. You're anchored by BTJ. So that's all nice. Any thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, basically the same. I'd probably peel off those last two receivers, Burton and Deontay Johnson. They're two guys who maybe they have a role, maybe not. So they could be kind of zeros also. So the guys that you're throwing out there, even if it's a tight end like a Tyler Higbee or Cole Kmet, who might not get a lot, he'll get you 5 points at week 10, give you some depth outside of that. And yeah, tack on a quarterback, whether it's like a Dylan Gabriel to get another Brown or another one of these like good backups. Just if they get any time, they're likely to score more points than, you know, the Deontay Johnsons and Jermaine Burtons, unless they for somehow really smash. So
yeah,
it's just you want that quarterback in the super flex as many weeks as possible. Any week you don't, you're probably taking, you know, 5 to 10 point loss.
MDS, good to see him on Dontavius Thielen.
So you know, it's just that kind of thing. But like I said, like you do enough builds, try different
things. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so B. Grandy from the 10 spot. Thank you for joining us. 3683. Baker Mayfield, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, with those three quarterbacks, you can stop at 3 if you want because they are 3 absolutely solid starters. He was 3 in the first 4 rounds. Bucky Irving, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Etienne, J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt, Jordan James, a strong running back room. Then Marvin Harrison, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter, and then Buka, Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Diami Brown, Roman Wilson, one of my favorite late round clicks. And then Evan Ingram, Colston Loveland, and Brenton Strange. You can see by the best ball overlay highlighting the correlations very, very, very well correlated with his 3 quarterbacks. So massively correlated Denver, Jacksonville, Tampa guys with his 3 quarterbacks. Like that a lot. So I like this a lot overall.
And one thing I want to point, I mentioned this during our draft of us taking 2 Colts. You were essentially saying we're going to get a viable Colt every week, whether they hit our lineup or not. We'll have to see. He's essentially doing that with like Tampa and Denver. By sure he doesn't have like Sutton or Godwin, but he's got multiple shots here for both these teams and Jacksonville as well. So it's like I'm going to get each week. At least one of these guys is going to be viable. Yeah, sometimes both. So I like that, especially for Superflex when you're only needing to hit 2 receivers and then a flex maybe 25-50% of the time. It's an interesting way to play it, especially if you're believing in the offense tying to your quarterback.
Which obviously we love Tampa, Denver, and Jacksonville offenses, and it's just massively correlated tying to your quarterback, similar to how we did with Daniel Jones and the Colts. I like that a lot.
No, I think he handled it well, and sometimes like in BBM, overstacking ends up hurting you because you know you're taking 2 receivers from 3 different teams, and then you're just thin during the bye week, stuff like that. But with the 20 rounds and only needing 2, it's even better in this format, I feel like.
Yeah. B. Grandy says, nice to join you. Good luck to all. Absolutely. Good luck to you too. And no, we really, really like that team a lot. That was a lot of very fun correlated team. Okay. FK Coolers. I'm sure he landed the plane 4772. So Purdy, CJ Stroud, Daniel Jones hit that, 3, we believe, starters for sure. And then tacked on Dylan Gabriel, Jahmyr Gibbs, Hampton, Judkins, Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, Keaton Mitchell, Taj Brooks. So definitely a strong running back room, especially with 7, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. So really exactly what we talked about again, Pittman, Higgins, very, very correlated. The first 4 receivers massively correlated. And then we know Kittle as well, too. So we talked about that. Love that. If these quarterbacks are going to hit, you're kind of saying one of these receivers are going to hit. I like that a lot. Similar to how we just talked about B. Grandy's team, Josh Palmer, Romeo Doubs, Noah Brown, they'll probably be low on, which is fun. George Kittle and Jake Ferguson definitely can stop 2 with those 2. I think you landed the plane, Coolers. I like this team with 4772, massively correlated, 3 starting quarterbacks that are really correlated to your mainly your receivers and tight end. I really like the team. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, no, very, very similar. I think you caught up at quarterback. I think you caught up, at receiver. So yeah, you took Kittle, 2 rounds early. It's not going to matter. You can still be fine. Especially if Kittle does what he did last year in his tight end 1, you've got him as tight end 2. Bowers went ahead of him. So you're still getting some value there.
Exactly. Look at coolers with the goat horns, right? Is that the goat horns?
Yeah.
Love it. Love to see it, coolers. So yeah, no, I like that team a lot. This was fun. We appreciate. He says, "Thank you so much for the feedback. Try my best after hiccup." I think you landed the plan. I thought it was awesome.
No, and yeah, it might not be your strongest team. I'm sure you're feeling that way, but I think it's still very viable. That's what at the end of the day, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, I think
viable teams.
Yeah, I think it's very viable, very strong, very well correlated. I like it a lot. Speaking of Fancy Dog, says Steve, the math guy. I'll bet he is. And let's talk about Jeopardy really quick. So we will see Steve test his math on Jeopardy, Best Ball Jeopardy. So last night we had if you didn't catch it, an amazing matchup between Bindles and Fancy Dog Pound. Absolutely just barely missing anything, putting up massive scores. Go and check it out here on the Fanspeak Network. Next week, Justin Herzig versus Steve. So Steve has a big test. We wanted to throw a really tough competitor. So why not the guy that won BBM 1, has been in the BBM finals every single year. We're throwing Justin Herzig at Steve next Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. And then the following Wednesday at 4 p.m. To kick off, Independence week here, July 2nd at 4 p.m. Pete Overzet and Neil Orefield. And then we'll have the following Wednesday, the two highest scoring losers, which Pat should be one of them, because they just Pat and Bindles put up massive scores on July 9th. And then to check out, how the whole bracket will work is so far off the Schneid, Who Hames, Candyman, PPR Tyler, and Bindles are moving on. Likely, I said, Pat from Fancy Dog Pound will likely be the high scoring loser. And then we'll see who the second one is. And then from there, we will re-rank the Best Ball Jeopardy bracket by score for round one score. So the quarterfinals will be ranked by round one score. So stay tuned. Best Ball Jeopardy all summer long, and lots of excitement there. So, Steve, how do you feel about Justin Herzig competition next week?
It's going to be tough. It should be really good, really interesting. And no, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, last night's stream, if you didn't watch it
was awesome.
Fantastic. Both of them did a tremendous job.
Yeah, I do need shots. I've struggled with words. I definitely struggle with underdog handles. It's been rough, but we appreciate all you got. My computer is working well. I'll hopefully have everything working with the camera, the mic, everything tomorrow. I will be on with JT Best Ball, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on here on the Fanspeak Network. Friends of Best Ball, Cody from Off the Schneid will be joining me. Very exciting stuff. Steve will be going on JT Best Ball here shortly in just 1 hour. So check that out as well. But we appreciate you in the chat, and thank you, coolers. We appreciate all of you joining us on the stream, in the chat, hitting the like button, in the drafts. We appreciate it a ton. Any final thoughts, Steve, before we get out of here and you get ready for your next show?
Yeah, no, two fun drafts, SuperFlex, which I'm obviously a big fan of. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well and got some tips and just concepts of ways to approach it from us highlighting the article. Go, read that on the Substack. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us, both in chats and in the drafts.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. For Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.